We have been discussing the various myths around DPDP law. Today we are going to start a series which is going to talk about making it an operating model, making it implementable. Welcome to my YouTube channel where you regularly see new content on privacy and DPDP Act. And as I mentioned, we are going to talk about how can we make DPDP as an implementation and an operating model. How is it looked at right now? People believe that it is another legal compliance requirement and treat it more as a GST or ISO implementation. To some extent, it's a compliance requirement, yes. But is it only a legal compliance requirement? Actually, if you look at DPDP, it helps you improvise your working systems and prevent you from getting publicly harassed, your reputation getting damaged if there's a breach from your organization that impacts anyone else. That is something which is very, very important. GST, just a tax to be deposited. Financial involvement is there, but it's a mere tax only. Similar thing is with ISO, but it is not the same with DPDP. It improves your work. It is slightly documentation heavy because you need to redesign all your processes. Plus, you have to create a standard policy, update it regularly. Consent and privacy notice in any case would be whenever you are collecting new information or starting a new purpose or making changes to your way of working, right? But once you implement privacy by design, privacy is perhaps the easiest of things to handle. Personal data currently is largely in policies, not physically but mentally, because the proper protection has not yet been enabled. The real impact is when you get down to implement it and focus on how it works. Let's talk about that. Let's get rid of some of our misunderstandings again. It's a one-time compliance project? No, it is not. It's an ongoing project. For sensitive data fiduciaries, DPDP expects at least once in a year external audit. So you need to have data auditors for it. Focus remains on policies, on notices, and on approvals. Yes, those documents are important, but focus does not stay only there. It goes far beyond in the real working. Implementation is legal responsibility. Sorry. Each staff member in an organization uses personal information of either his colleagues or of external agencies, vendors, partners, customers. So it's a responsibility of each and every individual. IT and operations remain disconnected from DPDP calls. Well, that may be true in many organizations, but they have to make it a synergic thing. Maybe a privacy team and one of the privacy team member job is to deal with IT and operations only, or maybe one with IT, one with operations, depending on the volume of personal data or the size of the organization. Now, that is something which does not have a legal binding. You need to decide how you want to handle your business. Privacy becomes a paper exercise, true, and gaps surface only when issues arise. That's true with any business. When issue will come up, gaps will come up. People will forget about it once the issue is settled, whichever way it is settled. So what does DPDP govern? DPDP governs how the data enters an organization. How is it collected? Where is it stored? How is it being used across various business functions? Is there any internal sharing across businesses? Well, a very typical example I have been using. You pick up a marketing database, your marketing team starts doing telecalling. They are ready and want to talk about the product. Your sales team talks to them. They place the order, your logistics delivers. Support team or implementation team goes and implements. Finance raises the invoice and receivables close it once the payment is received. And then the support team continues with the post-sale support if the product is something that needs warranty or regular maintenance or whatever. So is there internal data sharing? It is across. And that would be different for different person. Someone who just looks at my email, right, and does not even buy anything. His information does not go beyond the marketing team. But someone who does the entire cycle internally shared, and the logistics team might hire an external agency to deliver the goods. Finance might have hired some external agency to deliver the physical invoice. Retention duration is linked to the purpose and deletion is secured. Right? That is what DPDP wants. You should not be able to recover anything from the deleted data. Data principal rights should be taken care of. Core operating layers, anyone who is handling personal data, anyone who is processing the data utilization in the organization, systems where personal data is stored or processed, they are all involved, right? IT, governance, notices, consent, because governance and compliance is going to make the consent documents and notices. Of course, IT will give them shape to make them online, but the core thing comes from there, and maybe legal would vet it. So again, three teams involved. Wow. Alignment across different layers ensures consistency, and finally, if there is any gap, that would weaken the overall compliance. So you need to be very, very careful. Key realizations: DPDP is ongoing, not a one type project. Compliance evolves with business growth, and compliance need might multiply. New systems and vendors change the posture of the risk. DPDP requires shared ownership, and legal and compliance alone is not sufficient. Everyone has to work towards it. Everyone is handling personal information. Operational readiness is more important than just the legal compliance. Legal, you can go when you get caught and say, this is what we have been questioned on. We need the legal help to solve the question. That does not mean legal has no role at all initially, but then legal is not the one who is responsible for things. Each and every individual handling the data is responsible for it. So that's about converting or understanding DPDP as an operating model rather than just a governance or a compliance. I hope you like the content of the video. Please press the bell and the like icon, subscribe to my YouTube channel, and share your feedback in the comment section. Thank you.